She is affectionately called the City of Thousand Hills. Her beauty will enchant you at the first sight. Her streets are very clean and have well-kept lawns and flower gardens on the maiden of her roads. She is very deliberate in keeping almost every portion of her land green. Kigali prioritizes keeping her horticulture very clean. Leadership after the unfortunate genocide drew policies including their flagship program, Vision 2050. This blueprint has a master plan to make sure the green revolution is achieved. The dedicated land use component will increase land suitability for building and at the same time provide green spaces and parks. Areas where it's not difficult to build will become community areas and parks. It will also improve the extensive vegetation on and around buildings and along walking and cycling routes, which will give the neighborhood a unique look. The master plan also has policies designed to reduce urban microclimate effects and make temperature headroom for future climate change. This has contributed to a conducive weather.
We are having different policies in place that allow us as Rwandans to green and clean our country. Like the environmental policies, we also have a public health policy. So where we have to have green roads and also green neighborhoods. That means we try to green everywhere on the roads, and also with that includes the part of the city beautification that is in the public health policy. And the ones that are doing the green, they are local people and they benefit from it because we are trying to pay them. At the same time, we are trying to mobilize people so that they can green the place where they are living. That means almost 30% of the place where you're living must be green. At the same time, that is allowing our local economy to increase, because the people that are doing greening on the road, they are being hired by companies that are earning money so that they can pay the local people, so that there is an increase in the local economy.
I was particularly impressed by the downtown, the orderliness in everything, in accessing public transport. For me, that was the most impressive part. I pointed out to one of your colleagues on the bus with us the sight of a pregnant woman who was in the queue, who still waited for, and she wasn't at the front of the queue, she was at the back, and how she waited her turn to board the bus in rush hour. Also, I was fascinated by the fact that I didn't see even one paper. One. I'm not even going to talk about rubber or plastic. I didn't see even one. Another area that I found exciting was also the fact that we don't have random vendors all over the place. The environment looks clean, smells clean. The effort at greening the environment can be seen and felt.
What you see is a journey that began some 10 years ago. 10 years of enforcement of the law, deliberate policies, sensitization, and collective efforts to make Kigali a green city. In Ghana, similar laws have been enacted.
But have you all noticed that we haven't seen even one madman?
Sorry, I'm the great example. If you from the Botiano, years to come, we'll have a problem over there about undulating up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's something deliberate that they have to take care of it, and it's all part of it. It's all part of it. It's not to give an excuse, but I'm just saying that it's about survival. There are a lot of things which is about survival. I was just looking at why they are also using bricks, because they also experience different weathers, different seasons.
Rwanda has reformative environmental laws. You may be tempted to conclude that the approach would be counterproductive and rather encourage indiscipline. However, that is not the case.
It all goes with the behavior change. So we do mobilization. It's our everyday work. Actually, everyone, most of the people are complying. There are some fines, but not fines for there are no fines for people who are not greening. The only fines we are having, they are the ones for putting garbage and waste everywhere. But it's a process to teach people, and when they see the end result, they also comply.
Upon interrogation of the ordinary citizens, we realize that they are champions of this cause of clean, green environment. No wonder they've been awarded, the cleanest city of Africa before. But then I think even with the award, after the award, they are still very much committed to maintaining this, and it's extended to their water bodies, even with how they've made efforts to plant trees along the ridges of the hills that we traveled. I mean, one of the ridges reminded me of the Bree Hill and everything, and how, in contrast with ours, we are sort of building on that ridge. Theirs is such a concerted effort by all the institutions involved, public institutions involved, to maintain the green, but also to build in a certain way. So I also found in the environment the architectural plan, and I don't have the ultimate plan for this country, but you could tell that even in terms of architecture, the designs are seamless, they are similar, and the efforts at sort of maintaining, even with the new developments that are being done, you can trace it to a certain strategy that they are following, and I think that's how cities should be planned.
We play a big part on that, as we try to manage. First of all, to throw our trashes in some specific areas that is intended to do that. We don't throw trashes anywhere. We have this term we use in Kigali, which is called "Keep Kigali Clean." So every citizen every citizen knows that he or she has to play that part of keeping Kigali clean. We have that mentality that Kigali has to be clean.
What are some of the lessons Ghana can learn from Rwanda? And is the country ever ready to enforce the laws head-on?
The first lesson that I've learned is that they really are implementing and monitoring and also enforcing the standards that they have agreed to implement, the strategies and the plans. One of the key things I've also realized is that our framework back home is not wrong. It is largely similar, and in some cases we even have more stringent.
What is the framework?
The framework, for instance, for planning, for land use planning, like the reference you gave to the 30% permeable, we call it permeable surface. So there's 30% permeable. In Ghana, I think it's even more than 30%. But the difference is that there is real carrying along the whole citizenry with what the regulations are, what the rules are, what the consequences for not obeying or going by those standards are, and it is seen through.
The city is clean due to the collective effort of citizenry and authority. This collective effort of ensuring that the cleanness of the place and its greenery is a part of the city of Kigali is something that is worth emulating. Enforcement is one of the key things that I've also realized here. If in Ghana we can also enforce the laws, making sure that people are disciplined, they do not dump anyhow, they also see the cleanness of the environment as part of their collective responsibility, it will help all of us. If we're able to do that, then we can also have what we have here in Kigali.
From all indications, Kigali is a well-planned city with focus on greening its environment. What are the lessons Ghana can learn from this city in the eastern part of Africa? Kojo Ajman from Kigali for Citi News.